Why everybody want us to be, under their thumb? Why everybody wants to control black men? Why are we so important that they don't want to see us do nothing but sit here and waddle in insanity and in misery? And if a brother like me tell you, no, be your own man, then that's coonery. But guess what? retired NBA star Kwame Brown, he actually said the same thing. Don't believe me? Listen.
Y'all know what time it is. I'm living my best life while you worried about you worried about the wrong thing. All you gotta do is do you in this world. You can get anything done you wanna do. You can get anything you wanna do in this world done. You just gotta be you. I don't know why so many motherfuckers don't like a motherfucker that being them, but hey, it is what it is.
You hear him. I mean, that's the key to it, brothers. Be your own man. That is the key. And that is the one thing they don't want you to do, is be your own man. They're trying their damnedest to stop you from being your own man. Everybody wants to keep you under their control, but at the same time call you nothing, call you the worst thing on the planet, the apex predator, the most abusive man, the man that's in prison the most, the man that does this the most and does that the most and does this the most, and no woman wants you, but yet we marry interracially more than anybody else combined. Everything I'm about to say, you already know it to be true. You are a slave. You are a slave to money, to social economics, to status, to politics, to ideology. You have sold your soul to have a place in a world order that you should naturally oppose. Whoa now, whoa now, whoa now. Welcome back to the Black Elf and your boy, Brother Kush. My brothers, I'm trying to bring y'all to a certain point of acceptance and understanding. But I can't do that as long as you stay stuck in a box. Now, the box that you're stuck in, I shall not name. So I'm tired of debating with this stuff, man. So many of these dudes come on my channel and twist my words, you know what I'm saying? And they need to make everything about a certain box, a certain paradigm, a certain narrative. But if you notice how some of the arguments or counter arguments have been made against me, they say that, so you saying that any black man that wants to date and build something with only a black woman, he's in a sunken place. I never said that. I never said that. So you saying that any black man that cares about black people and wants to build something with black people, he something is wrong with him. I never said that. I mean, I just never said these things. My comment section is full of counter arguments based upon things that I never said. Never said. And that is the definition. I mean, that is the quintessential straw man type argument, logical fallacy. You look up logical fallacy, you have a whole list of them. That's a quintessential logical fallacy or some type of straw man type way of arguing. First, you start the argument from an assumed set of facts that are not even true, and then you tear those facts down. So of course you can make me look bad if I actually sat here and told y'all that I honestly believe that any black man that wants to marry a black woman is in a sunken place. You should click off my channel right now and never come back if I said that, bro. I never said that. You know what I'm saying? It's not a position I hold. It's not a belief I share. I never said that. But I'm going to get into why they twist this. Because see, these tactics, these debate tactics they use, they are a part of what we call dark psychology. That's what that is. That is a part of dark psychology. The whole point of dark psychology is to manipulate the masses. It's to get people to do things that they normally would not do. This is dark psychology. There are books on it. You could pull some books up. Real good reading, you know what I'm saying? Very interesting to see how you're being manipulated by so-called leaders and everything. But that's what they're using on you. They're using dark psychology on you. And I'm going to talk about some of that today. I did a video before on dark psychology. but I talked about it from a different perspective. Today, I'm going to talk more in specific about dating and marriage, interracial dating and marriage in particular, you know what I'm saying? And this is not a topic that I particularly like talking about, but you know, it's important that y'all hear why you really should take yourself out of the box. What they don't want is for the black man to think for himself, and that's the problem. That's dark psychology. So before we go further, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon and receive notification when I drop more videos. If you don't hit that bell icon, YouTube will not notify you when I drop more videos. You will have to come back to the channel and check to see if I drop something. You have to physically come back to see if I drop something. Also, if you've been here a couple of times and have not subscribed, go on and hit that subscribe button. Stop playing. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching me in the inline feeds, go on, hit that subscribe. Click the video and hit the subscribe button, man. You know what I'm saying? This is a movement. You need to be a part of it, because goddamn, nothing y'all been doing thus far has worked. I'm older than a lot of y'all, and I've been watching this stuff go downhill, generation after generation after generation. And we got the same types of leaders, some of the same actual leaders that's been in positions of influence over black people, leadership and influence over black people for decades. And they have done nothing for us that's worth talking about, but dragged us further and further under the tidal waves of the chaos of this crazy system that we live in. It's time for a change, my brothers. It's time for a change. So in this first clip, let me go to a frame right quick. In this first clip I'm gonna play, it comes from a chick named HELENA PASCHAL, I think is her name. And she did a video on why black men date white women, you know, something like that. And I found it interesting because have y'all ever noticed how fixated pro-blacks and women are with the dating and sexual habits of black men? This is why I did that video, I Am Not Your Negro. See, you gotta understand, everything that I'm doing is connected. Don't look at these videos as though they're individual videos. They're not. That's why I'll be struggling sometimes with the titles, because all of this stuff is really one argument. All 250 plus videos I put out are really parts of one argument. Understand that. That's how consistent my points are in the video. Man, I've done some videos that's outside the normal topics though. I did a boxing video here and there, but did you get my point? I'm very consistent on the point because I understand what it is that I'm trying to get you to see. So when you get these people coming up, you know, that's always talking about your dating habits, and they always try to browbeat you and make you feel bad and all this stuff, it gets strange for me. Like, why in the hell are y'all so interested in who I date? And how in the hell could I possibly mess up black America because I date an Asian chick? And I said Asian because one of the problems that we have with these arguments against interracial dating, and no, I'm not for interracial dating. Let me put this on the record right now, because this is gonna be the next problem. I am not really for interracial dating because I know better than most how difficult and trying that can be. I also know the long-term effects that can have if you do stuff like produce children. You know, interracial dating is a very, very, very serious thing to consider under this structure of a system that we are under. Don't do that lightly. Don't do that lightly. Now, this is one of them situations where it becomes more than just simply about you and that person. But if you're young and you are dealing with a non-black woman, then yes, you have to take other things into consideration before you procreate with that non-black woman. Now, unfortunately, I'd be lying if I say that procreating with a black woman is better or it's the best way to do. I can't honestly look at you and say that either. I can't tell you that dealing with black women exclusively is the best thing for you to do. I can't do that because it's simply not true. Each one bring their own set of problems, so you need to analyze what you're dealing with. Unless you find one of the few sisters that's just up and up, you know, everything, all bells and whistles are ringing, you know what I'm saying? You find one of the few sisters. Now, I ain't talking about look-wise. I'm talking about character-wise. Unless you get lucky and find one of them few sisters like that. And they're out there. They're out there. But they get scooped up fast, too. But unless you get lucky and find one of them, you have a lot of things to consider before you procreate with any woman of any race. It's just the things you got to consider with non-black women are different. That's all. So anyway, it's weird to me how they always wants to make it sound like we only deal with white women. That's the first argument. That's the first point that they argue from. Like this is about white women, when it's not. Who said it was about white women? Yeah, we meet more white women because white women outside of black women are just the highest populations. But we also meet a lot of Latina women. We meet a lot of Mexican women. I know Latina and Mexican, y'all think it's the same, but they don't consider themselves the same. So I'm just trying to be politically correct. That's all. But it's not just white women. It's just that you meet who you have access to. I keep saying that. You meet who you have access to. You know, when I started hanging on the West Bank, it's not the West Bank of New Orleans, actually. They only have one city from Orleans. Orleans Parish only has two cities. It has Algiers and New Orleans. And on the West Bank, you do have Algiers, but I wasn't hanging in Algiers. I was hanging in Jefferson Parish, right? So when I opened up the mall location over there, that's when I really started meeting a whole lot of Spanish girls and white girls. Because I had access to them all of a sudden. In Orleans Parish or in New Orleans, in the city of New Orleans, I didn't have that much access to them. That's a black ass city, you know what I'm saying? But once I started hanging over there in Jefferson Parish, now I got access to white girls and Spanish girls, you know what I'm saying? And I was dealing with them. Because for me, I deal with the women that I deal with. I mean, if they're around, I deal with them. So you know, this is why I was dating black women, Asian women, Latinas, Mexicans, white women, all at the same time. Like I said, if you see me 5 days, you see me with 5 different racial categories of women. That's just how I was rolling. But the point I'm making is that the opposers to black men dating interracially always start off with white women. And it's not even about white women. I have a channel subscriber, a cool brother, you know what I'm saying? Very cool brother. His wife is Asian. In fact, I have three personal friends that I grew up with, all married to Asian women. I'm talking 3 personal friends, long time childhood friends, all married to Asian women, 3 of them. So it's not just about white women. It's not just about white women. So that's the first straw man argument that they do. And they put that in the box so they can argue everything based on racial oppression. What the white man has done to you. Why would you date your oppressor? Why would you date your enemy? But who says that, you know, white women are the only women that black men date or should date? Who said that? Because I know damn well I never said it. I never said it. I say date and marry the woman that's best for you, regardless of race. That's what I said. Y'all don't like that message. Anyway, let's get to these clips. In the first clip, you're going to hear HELENA PASCHAL explaining how once they gave black men permission to date and marry white women, black men started dating nothing but white women, right?
When the United States Supreme Court ruled in favor of having interracial marriages from the Virginia versus Loving case, and black men were now allowed to marry white women, they have now become the largest race of people to marry outside of their race, more than any race combined.
Now I want you to think about that. Because part of the narrative that they want you to believe is that black men ain't shit. That nobody wants us, nobody likes us, but yet we marry interracially more than any other demographic combined. And that's the truth. But nobody ever stopped to think why that is. See, all you dudes, I be trying to tell my brothers, man, you know, y'all get stuck in this sort of purple pill place where y'all Y'all want to be kind of red pilled and go your own way, but you kind of want black women to submit to you and change themselves into something that you want. And you want to change them because you don't believe you are capable of dating another race of woman, because you've been told the entire time by people like Dr. Umar Johnson and Dr. Claude Anderson and Professor Truth over there, Jason Black. You've been told over and over and over and over that women are hypergamous and that white women will only date up. They will never date down, and you view yourself as down. So you don't know what to do. You view yourself as down. And you know that they date up, or you believe they date up, so you don't believe that you have proper access to them. You don't think you could get them. You don't think they will like you. So you avoid that, and you sit in this sunken place trying to figure out a way to hope that society collapse and black women have to come run to your arms for protection, as if most of you dudes are even capable of protecting them. You know what I'm saying? So it's a weird thing. But you notice she said after Supreme Court gave us permission is the word she said. Let me back this up. Listen again.
From the Virginia versus Loving case, and black men were now allowed to marry white women.
Allowed.
They have now become the largest race of people to marry outside of their race, more than any race combined.
Now listen to this.
That's why. Once they got permission to marry a white woman, they married white women.
See, and the thing about the problem with this narrative is that the Loving versus Virginia case wasn't even about black men marrying white women. First of all, they passed these laws to make interracial marriage illegal because black men were already dating and marrying white girls, whatever type of marriage they had before all this legal marriage existed. Black men were already marrying white girls. They were marrying everything. The problem was that the white boys that was coming over here from Europe, they was finding themselves as being incels. They were coming here, working like a dog, working like a slave, but they didn't even have access to women because all the white women were getting with black men. And back then, polygynous families was the thing. So a black dude, he's sitting up here with 2 black chicks and 2 white chicks, you know what I'm saying? And the white boys that came from Europe, they got no women. So once they created this pact with white men to get white men to become loyal to the system by way of making them, by virtue of their race, a higher class citizen, right? Once they made that pact with white men, they did things like made interracial marriages illegal to force white women to marry white men. That's what that was about. See, the problem is y'all can't see a lot of this stuff because y'all try to make everything make sense from a certain paradigm. Again, a box. And that box is slavery. Y'all try to make everything start from slavery. Because see, if you don't start it from slavery, you now your brain don't understand what you're seeing. You start hearing about these interracial dating and marriages and couples down in places like New Orleans back in the 1700s, 1600s. Like, how were blacks married to whites in the 1700s in New Orleans? Because slavery didn't happen like that, bro. I'm not saying that nothing happened on the far East Coast in the 13 colonies, but not all of us are from the 13 colonies. That's the problem that y'all cannot reconcile. All of us are not from the 13 colonies. There were blacks all over this land. So whatever they went through in the 13 colonies, and there were blacks over there on that land too when they landed. So as Malcolm X said, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. So there were blacks already there too when they landed. So you had blacks that were already so-called free that were living in the 13 colonies even back then. And those were the blacks that were dating the European women that were coming over. They were smashing them up way back then. They passed laws to stop it. And this law stayed in place until a white man decided, no, I really like this black chick. I really love this black chick and I'm marrying her. We're going to stay married. And he took their ass to court. It was a white man that did that over his black wife. So when she cites that case, she make it sound like they was giving us permission, but the permission wasn't being given to black men. The permission was being given to black women. Let me clarify this. The permission was being given to white men to choose who they wanted to marry. The permission was not being given to black men, as these pro-blacks and these black feminists try to tell you. And the permission wasn't being given to black women, as I made a mistake and said. It wasn't being given to black women. It was all about telling white men that you can choose for yourself. But the point I was trying to make, and I just slipped on it, was that it's crazy that she will make it sound like that court case was handed down to give black men permission when the court case itself had nothing to do with black men. It wasn't to give us permission to do anything. It was to give white men permission to choose to marry whoever they wanted to marry, regardless of their race. That's what that case was about. And this sister should have said that right, but of course she can't say it right because they gotta always spin the narrative in a negative light towards black men. That's what they all do. They gotta always say it in a way where it's negative towards the black man. Now let me continue. To this day, nobody wants us touching their daughters. You know what I'm saying? To this day, permission wasn't being given to us. So anyway, she starts that off wrong, and what she ends up saying effectively is a lie, right? And let's continue. Let's continue. And she tried to follow it up with another lie. Listen to this lie.
The hierarchy is this: white men, white women, black men, black women. White women are regarded higher than black men in the United States. So to elevate his status, he is going to go up, not down. We are considered the inferior person. As hard as we work, we are inferior.
Now, you see the problem, and I left a comment on that part on her channel because her hierarchy is all jacked up. But let me ask you something. If white women are hypergamous, see, they be all over the board. See, this is what I'm trying to get you brothers to see. It seems like no matter which way they argue it against you. Don't y'all see that? Come on, black men, y'all gotta see this. No matter who's arguing it, whether it's a pro-black woman, whether it's a feminist black woman, whether it's a pro-black man, if they are arguing it, they are arguing it against black men. Only when it comes to interracial dating. Right, when it comes to interracial dating, it's always argued against black men. But if white women are hypergamous, once again, and they are considered to be on a status level above black men, then why would they marry us? I mean, look, what woman in her right mind would want to marry a slave? What woman in her right mind, white, Latina, Asian, no matter, we want to marry the man on the lowest rung of society, which is where we are socially. We are actually at the bottom. Look at this here. This is the real chart. Her chart was all wrong. She said white man, white woman, black man, black woman. That's wrong. That's wrong. That is wrong. Actually, it is white man, white woman, everybody else, black woman, black man. That's how it goes. White man, white woman, everybody else, black woman, black man. And she know that. She know we at the bottom. Everybody know we at the bottom of the social chart. Everybody know. But still, the women will all date, marry us, and have kids with us. Why? Why would they do that if we were slaves? Why would they do that if we jungle bunnies and animals? They wouldn't. The truth is, nobody believes that. We're dealing with epigenetics here. Nobody believes that because the truth has been handed down through the genetic code. You can teach people in school whatever you want to teach them. The only people believe that crap in school are blacks. Here we go again. The only people believe the lies of the white man are blacks. I've had the conversation with dozens upon dozens of highly educated white folks about how my family wasn't brought here from Africa as slaves, and they don't even so much as try to debate it. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I think I did hear that there was some blacks here already. Yes, I did hear that. And they leave it alone. But I tell a pro-black that, oh no, you don't want to be, you don't love yourself, you don't love your motherland. You want to be something that you're not. We are the ones that worship that white man. At the same time, we try to straw man everybody else. And this is why I'm telling you, it has to be a form of dark psychology. Because why are they so keen and determined to keep black men under their thumb? What's the point of it? What's the purpose of it? Why everybody want us to be under their thumb? Why everybody wants to control black men? Why are we so important that they don't want to see us do nothing but sit here and waddle in insanity and in misery? And if a brother like me tell you, no, be your own man, then that's coonery. But guess what? Retired NBA star Kwame Brown, he actually said the same thing. Don't believe me? Listen.
Y'all motherfuckers know what time it is. I'm living my best life while you motherfuckers worried about the wrong thing. All you gotta do is do you in this world. You can get anything done you wanna do. You can get anything you wanna do in this world done. You just gotta be you. I don't know why so many motherfuckers don't like a motherfucker that being them, but hey, it is what it is.
I don't know why motherfuckers don't like a man that's just trying to be him, but it is what it is. You him. I mean, that's the key to it, brothers. Be your own man. That is the key. And that is the one thing they don't want you to do, is be your own man. They're trying their damnedest to stop you from being your own man. Everybody wants to keep you under their control, but at the same time call you nothing, call you the worst thing on the planet, the apex predator, the most abusive man, the man that's in prison the most, the man that does this the most and does that the most and does this the most, and no woman wants you, but yet we marry interracially more than anybody else combined. Come on, man, they all over the board with these arguments. I got one more clip to play for you. They are all over the board with these arguments. But the truth of the matter is, why do we date interracially? For those who don't know what a Freudian slip is when you accidentally say the truth. So this is what she said in her Freudian slip by accident. Listen.
And you will see, if we get some kind of dialogue that's actually healthy, you will see and hear that black men will say, I don't even look at her like that. I just love her. I'm not choosing her because of her color. I just found someone that loves and appreciates me. And he can say, if he's a mentally healthy black man, a quality black man, he's not going to tear you down just to tell you why he chose to be with a white woman. But we don't have that.
Now I'm gonna stop it short, because you heard, look, the Freudian slip is there. And you could see she paused because she was trying to think how to say it in a way where it comes off negative towards black men, because that's what she was trying to do. She was trying, let me tell you what she was doing in the clip. She was making it sound like all these men that brag on having white women because white women supposed to be so docile and all this stuff, right? And she was trying to say that that's a lie, and if you get any type of real dialogue with black men, they will tell you that that's not why they pick white women. But what happens is she follows up with a Freudian slip, and she admit that it's just a matter of, I like her, she like me, she respects me as a person, as a human being. That's why we together. That's not what she wanted to say, people, because you can hear she start going on talking about they wouldn't tear you down as a woman and all that. That's not, she made a mistake and said the truth, that black men that have these women get with these women simply because they click with them. Now, have Brother Kush not been telling y'all this the whole time? See, y'all gonna still come in here and twist my words up and everything, but that's that dark psychology. So I have a question. Why do y'all care so much about the dating practices of black men? I would obviously, man, look, whatever we do inside our hood or among each other is not working. Obviously, it's not working. And even though it's not working, majority of black men that are married are still married to black women. Y'all always forget to say that. Majority of black men that are married are still married to black women. It's a slight majority, but majority. It's just that black men have more options. What is it about black men that the black community and the pro-blacks, the pan-Africanists, and all these people are so obsessed with? What is it? Because there's something wrong here. Y'all are too fixated on who we date and how they keep you brothers stagnant with all of these false narratives. Let me run them down again. They tell you, first of all, that white women are hypergamous, that they're at the top of the chart, and they gonna only date or marry up. They'll never date and marry a black man unless you filthy rich. That's a lie. It's a lie. Every woman would date and marry a black man. In fact, the truth of the matter is, for every black man that's single right now, there are enough Asian, Mexicans, Latinas, and white American women, or women in America, that can make up the deficit. For every black man that wants a wife that is single, there are enough non-black women to make up that deficit. The problem is that y'all stay stuck because of some ideology of collectivism based upon who and what. Who dictates what it means to be black? Who tells us what it means to express self-love? Because the first form of self-love is the self. The self. If you love yourself, you'll give yourself a healthy relationship, regardless of race. Do that for yourself. And if somebody think that means you don't like your mama, that's on them, bro. That's on them. Do what you do for yourself. Next thing, y'all think that white women are the only options you have. Not true. Next thing, y'all think that you know you need a lot of money. Not true. If you notice, everything they tell black men about what it takes for them to get married is a lie. And we are the only ones who pump this stuff into us on a massive scale. Yeah, you got white red pill channels too. You got those. But they don't talk as much. In fact, they starting to change. You see now Andrew Tate is changing his tone, him and his brother. You see Sneeko changing his tone. Because these dudes now are starting to actually deal with women. They're starting to actually have real world experiences with women, and they're starting to see some of this stuff we be saying don't make sense. And they're starting to realize how much they like women. That's what Sneeko was noticing, or what you realized when he was on Fresh and Fit last time. You know, you see him looking like he want to punch these niggas in the mouth because he's asking them serious questions like, what is all this about if it's not about getting women? I mean, what good is all this stuff y'all claiming to be high value, high income, and all this stuff, and you single and lonely? He like, what good is that? That's a good question, Sneeko. What good is it? They couldn't answer that question. They couldn't answer that question. So I'm going to go back and continue my list. They tell you that you're not good enough. You need money. No woman want you. You know what I'm saying? They tell you all these things to keep you trapped, trying to deal with a woman that actually doesn't want you. They keep you trapped with a woman that, because see, I'm telling you, a conquered thing has no value. As long as black women feel they have a right to you, you are worthless to them. I'm going to say it again. As long, and I know black women try to say black men think they're on us because we don't go nowhere we can't get. That's your problem. Black men has never treated black women like property, man. That's this new black red pill community. They knew. These dudes with that kind of mindset are new. Traditionally speaking, we've never treated black women like property. We've always let them do their own thing. The thing is, it's not that easy for them to MGTOW, for them to go their own way. It's easy for us to go our own way, though. WGTOW, that's what they call it, women going their own way. See, they can talk all this divestment stuff and swirling stuff. They ain't that easy for them. But women around the world actually like black American men. And when you start having them real world experiences, you start seeing the differences in the women culturally. So with the whole, this whole dark psychology is to keep black men stuck in one place, stagnant, dealing with a woman that don't respect him and don't want him. Why would you do that to yourself? I mean, forget about it. But what good is, let me ask you this. What good are we serving the collective if all we do is have babies, get divorced, and the women go and let the babies become mass murderers out there in the cities? How is that helping the collective? See, nothing y'all saying is making sense. We don't have a collective because a nation, a community, a neighborhood, or a family can rise no higher than the condition of its woman. That's why we don't have a collective, because we cannot be a collective without black women. And black women are loyal, wholeheartedly, mind, body, and soul to feminism. They're loyal, mind, body, and soul to this system. When I mean a system, I mean social economics. They're loyal to this stuff. If they're not crazy liberals loyal to feminism, they are elitists from the Divine Nine type people. You know what I'm saying? I did a video talking about that. That's why they're the least married. They're the highest educated group and the least married because they have elitist mindsets. They are the most loyal to this system. So I'm going to repeat this one more time. We do not have a collective that black men can destroy. It don't exist. All we are individuals, but every whole is nothing more than the sum total of its individual parts. And if you look at our individual parts, you gotta look at the condition, the state, the mental condition, the well-being of the black American woman. And that's when you see why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that a nation can rise no higher than the condition of its woman. We are seeing it in real time, and y'all still trying to blame men like me for sticking our dicks in a white chick. Now, you make that make sense. You make that make sense. Look, man, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, bro. I hope y'all starting to hear what I'm saying. I really hope y'all starting to hear what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying none of the coonery that they claim I'm saying. I'm not telling brothers to go off and get a white girl. I'm not telling brothers to kick your sisters down the, down the street. Say the hell with black women. I don't have that mentality. I love sisters. So I'm not saying none of the coonish stuff that they claim I'm saying. I'm just telling brothers, do what's best for you. Start there. And then start finding your collective. But start there. Do what's best for you as an individual. That's what you start at. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, I'm out of here. I'm your boy, Brother Kush, a.k.a. the Black Alpha. Salam.